Hey everyone, welcome to Slater's Wrist Game. Today we're going to do a video which is going to be a comparison of two of my favorite chronographs. And we're going to compare the Glycine Airpilot and the Citizen Brycen, okay? But before I get started, I would like to say thanks for watching this video. Please continue to comment, like, subscribe, share the video and hit the notification bell. I do appreciate the support. The channel is still steadily growing, so I do appreciate that, okay? So now it's been over a couple of years since I've done a comparison video, I think. And these are two of my favorite chronographs. So I have some different categories I'm going to consider. I got nine main categories. And if there's a tie, we'll go to we use the MSRP as the tiebreaker, but I don't think there would be a tie on this one, okay? So we got here to my left here. To my left, we got the Glycine Airpilot Aviation Chronograph, and to my right, we got the Citizen Brycen Racing Chronograph. Right, so we got a pilot chronograph versus a racing chronograph, but that really doesn't make a difference. Now, when I think of pilot chronographs, I think of maybe the Breitling Narrow Timer or some of the chronographs from IWC. Those companies are known for doing pilot chronographs. When I think of some racing chronographs, I think the most popular one may be the Rolex Daytona. Also, the Tag Heuer Monaco is a very popular racing chronograph. But chronographs tend to be more expensive because there's more parts involved. But I do like chronographs. I think they look better on my wrist, okay? All right, so we're going to start out with different categories. The first one is the specs. So let's look at the specs of the Glycine Airpilot chronograph. Now, looking at the specs, this watch here has a 44 millimeter case, so 44 mm horizontally. This watch here has a lug of 52 millimeters and has a height of 11.5, which I think is great. It has a lug width of 22 millimeters that tapers, and there's 100 meters water resistance for this watch, okay? So I think this is some pretty solid specs, but I think this is definitely for people who have a larger wrist. Now, when I look at the specs of the Citizen Brycen, we have a 44 millimeter case, a 51 millimeter lug to lug, okay? A 22 millimeter lug width, and a 12 millimeter height. So it's 12 millimeters high, okay? And 100 meters water resistance. So which one has a better specs? Well, I'm going to go ahead and call this category a push. I think they're pretty much equal. The only difference is one has an 11.5 millimeters height and another one has a 12 millimeter height. And one is 52 millimeters lug to lug and then the other one is 51. So anybody who likes one would probably like both because they're designed to fit the same type of wrist. So I'm saying the specs category, we have a draw. I can't really see how to make that any other way. Now let's look at the movement. When we look at the Glycine movement, it is a GL853 Swiss quartz chronograph, which is basically like is a Rado base to it. So it's based on a Rado 3520.D. All right. So that's what you have in the Glycine. And the movement in this Citizen is the B612 Eco Drive movement. This is a solar powered movement, pretty solid movement. So in this case, we're comparing a Swiss quartz movement from a third party company, Ronda, which is a solid company, versus an in-house solar powered movement, which is an Eco Drive movement, okay? So in the movement category, I'm going to give the advantage to the Citizen. Okay, and the reason I'm gonna get the advantage to the Citizen, it's still a quartz watch, but it's solar powered, and it's gonna last a long time. I think these solar powered watches last 10 years. The Eco Drive line is pretty solid and it's also in-house, okay? Now just look at the dial. So when we look at the dial of the Glycine, I like this dial here. It has this sunburst blue dial and some black sub dials. And it has a lot on there. It's a busy dial, but it's not too busy. But you can't go wrong with a blue dial. Now, when I like my blue dials, I like to see them with a stainless steel case and stainless steel bracelet. I think that's when blue looks better to me. But this looks pretty good, all right? looking at the dial of this watch. Now I've always liked this cream colored dial, and then it has this black sub dial. And this watch here, you can get this cream dial, you can get a blue dial on the same color strap, and you get a black dial, and you can get the black dial on the black strap or this same color brown strap. But when it comes to both these watches, the dial I like the best is the Citizen Brycen. I've been wanting this watch since 2019. I picked it up a couple of years ago, but this is like the key point for this watch here is the dial. So I'm definitely on the dial. I'm gonna give the category to Citizen. Okay, I think they have the other two. They have the best dial. Now when we look at legibility, when you look at this Glycine, once again, it's pretty legible. You got blue dial, sunburst blue dial, like a navy blue with some black sub dials. So it's basically a dark color dial, but you got these white Arabic markers, and they're in increments of 5. And then you had this tri-date window at the 9 o'clock and the Glycine logo at the 3 o'clock. But I think this is very legible. I think it's always pretty legible to have a dark background with like some white markings or something, okay? This one here, also very legible. This has a cream colored dial with like black stick hour markers and some black Arabic hour markers. And you have an orange second hand and a black sub dial that's with an orange trim. So I like this too. Like I said, I think the dial was always the key setting point of this one. But the date window is a little bit smaller, and there's no magnifying glass. No magnifier for the date. So as far as legibility, I'm going to give the edge to the Glycine on this one. I think the Glycine is the more legible watch. Okay. Now in terms of finishing, when you look at the Glycine, you basically have a combination of both polished and brush finishes. You can definitely see the kind of brushing on the side here, if I can get this to focus. But I think this watch is finished pretty well. This is one of the key selling points of this one. One of the things I like about it overall is the finishing. Okay, we just take a good look all around, the case back and everything. Finished pretty well. Here's some information on the case back to this one. But like I said, it has both high polished and brush finishes. Same can be said for the Citizen Brycen. Got some, it's kind of brushed on the side, which is typically what you see here. The bezel has some high polish. It has a high polished bezel. So it looks good too. I like it. Okay. I think here also, in my opinion, I think the pushers and crown is kind of high polished too. But as far as finishing, I think it's hard to beat the Swiss when it comes to finishing. And I think that the Glycine Airpilot definitely takes it in the finishing category, okay? Now let's look at tactile elements. All right, now when we look at the Citizen, when I say tactile elements, I'm talking about the buckle. I'm also talking about the pushers and the crown and stuff like that, even the case back, okay? So when I look at the tactile elements on this one, let's just get a look for it. Let's just look at the chronograph action. So this pitch, go ahead and get it going here. So you see the chronograph action right now. It'll go for about 10 seconds. Go ahead, stop it, reset. Very slow to reset, but nothing wrong with that. This one has a push-pull crown. Okay. Also see the buckle. And take a look at the case back. There's a screw down case back, which I like, so I like this one. All right, but not bad. It's pretty good. When we look at the Glycine Airpilot, once again, looking at the same things, but let's just go ahead and take a look at the chronograph action here. A little bit different. This is a Ronda-based Swiss quartz chronograph. Stop it. Hit the reset. I think the reset was a lot quicker. And this has a screw down crown. All right. Which definitely helps with the water resistance. Take a look at the buckle, fine buckle, and the case back here. So when it comes to tactile elements, they're both solid. I'm going to give that category to the Glycine. Okay, I think having a push-pull crown, which better helps ensure you have the 100 meters water resistance, really gives it an edge. Now, in terms of versatility, I think both watches are pretty versatile. I like them both. Now, when I look at this Glycine, now this is officially like their rose gold tone, but it also has like a bronze look to it. But I think that it has been more dressy just because I think of this color as more of a dressy color. Could be just me, okay, but I look at it as more dressy, okay. But you can definitely change out the straps. One thing I didn't mention, they got some quick release straps here, okay, which makes it easy to change out. Okay. Now I look at this Citizen. I think this watch is what I called in my full review a strap monster. It has this cream dial with this black bezel, but you can put this on a black strap. It's already on a brown strap. You can put this on some type of orange strap. I think this will go with a lot of different strap options, okay? You can dress it up or dress it down. So actually, I think that the Citizen is by far the more versatile watch, in my opinion. So when it comes to versatility, I'm giving that one to the Citizen. All right, in terms of prestige, they're both prestigious companies. Glycine has been around since 1918. I think they were purchased by the Invicta Watch Group in 2016. But Glycine has some diehard followers, but a lot of this, like I would describe their community as they have a few diehards in there, okay? Most people who got a Glycine probably got more than one. I have a couple of them myself. I like Glycine. But yeah, and actually I purchased two, but I gave one to my brother. But I like Glycine, but I think anytime you have a Swiss made company, there's going to be some prestige there anyway. With the Citizen, they've been around for over 100 years too, but they also have electronics. They do a lot of different type of calculators and all type of electronics, including their watches. But I think more people know about Citizen than they do Glycine. I think Citizen probably has higher prestige amongst watch collectors. So I'm going to give this prestige category to the Citizen. Now, as far as comfort, both of these watches have the same specs. So I guess you expect it to be pretty close, but actually the Glycine is far more comfortable only because this watch here has like a calf leather strap. It's genuine leather, but it's like calf leather. It's very, very soft, and it really conforms to your wrist. You can forget that you're wearing this watch, okay? Whereas the only one pet peeve I got about this one is that the Citizen Brycen, it has like a very stiff strap, and it's kind of loosened up over time, but it's especially stiff right up here, closer to the lugs. It's really stiff, okay? So basically, but the more comfortable watch, I would definitely say, is the Glycine Airpilot. So now look at the categories. The first category of specs was a push, that was a draw. And I got the Glycine Airpilot winning in legibility, finishing, tactile elements, and comfort. So that's 4. And I got the Citizen winning in movement, dial, versatility, and prestige. So basically, it's a tie right now. So we'll go for the tiebreaker, which is MSRP. So for the Glycine Airpilot, when I go to the Glycine website, the MSRP is $1,405 on this watch. $1,405 MSRP. I paid $194. I don't know what type of discount that is. There's pretty much like probably an 85% discount or something if my math is right, which could be wrong. That's a huge discount on this watch, okay? So basically, you're getting Swiss luxury chronograph for $194. That was a steal for a watch of this caliber. I think that's pretty good. Now, the Citizen Brycen at the time of purchase had a $375 MSRP, and I purchased it for $218. All right, so roughly about the same. I paid an extra $24 for the Citizen. But the Citizen, right now, I guess the Citizen brand is holding its value a lot better. But based on the MSRP, based on the acquisition cost, definitely give the edge to the Glycine. And actually, I would say the winner of this comparison is the Glycine. I think you can't go wrong with either one of these. Okay, but this Glycine Airpilot, if you want the look of an IWC without paying IWC prices, definitely go with this Glycine Airpilot, okay? And the Airpilot line, I think, are all quartz for Glycine. But the Citizen is one of my favorite. The Citizen Brycen is actually one of my favorites. And actually, these are two of my favorite watches. But if I had to do it, I just did this comparison, I'm going to say the winner, because of the value proposition, is the Glycine Airpilot, okay? But both these watches are worth picking up, and I love both these brands, okay? So let me go ahead and do a wrist shot of each one of these on the wrist. So right now I'm wearing my Armatron. This is my workout watch. This watch here I purchased like Christmas of 2023, and this was a real surprise. Definitely watch my full review of this one. The story of Armatron is a pretty awesome story. But right now, let me go ahead and take the Armatron off and try on each one of these watches. Okay. First, we'll start with the Citizen Brycen. We'll see what this one looks like on the wrist. Now, my wrist is 18 centimeters, which is 7 1/4 inches. All right. So we just do a wrist roll. Actually looks very good. I'm going to put this on a black strap and see what it looks like. Probably going to buy some straps later today. Doing this video made me want to buy straps for both of these watches. Now let's look at the Glycine Airpilot. Once again, I have an 18 centimeter wrist, which is 7 1/4 inches, okay? Last time I measured. Just a while ago. All right, here's the buckle. Let's do a wrist roll. Beautiful blue dial. Love it. Love the finishing. This is the winner for today's comparison, guys. So thanks for watching this video. Please continue to comment, like, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And I'll bring you another video soon. All right, thanks.